Hey guys, Andy here. So we have an interesting test today. I say interesting, it might be quite dull because as you'll see they're very similar devices, but on the left we have my new Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, which is a Snapdragon 732G, which is an 8nm chipset. It's got an octa-core CPU, it's got an Adreno 618 GPU, it's got 6GB of RAM, and I paid $265, but I have now seen them at $249 on eBay. So I'll leave you to find your own price for that. On the right we have my slightly older Poco X3 NFC, which also has a Snapdragon 732G, has an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 618 GPU and 6GB of RAM. And I think I actually paid $235, but right now on me.com they are £249. So as I say, very similar devices. Let's see how they compare. So we're starting things with the fingerprint sensor test, and it's very close, but I think the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max just edges the Poco X3 NFC, and I think I'll just refer to them as the Redmi and the Poco from this point forward. We go into the Angry Birds 2 opening test, and it's looking pretty close again, as you would expect, but the Poco gets the first run. I then close all background apps and we'll give it another run. And again, it looks like the Poco is in front, and the Poco again is very close, as you'd expect with most of the sort of hardware performance power based tests. Very close, but the Poco X3 does take the Angry Birds opening. On to Geekbench 5, and again I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but let's skip ahead to the end and we see the Redmi finishes first. That scores 1741 on the multi-core, which is what I use as the decider. And the Poco is going to score, wait for it, here we go, 1600 exactly. So not a huge amount between them, but the Redmi does take the Geekbench 5 test. We head outside. I wait for them both to get a lock. I'm going to go in and clear the AGPS state, clear, and try and clear all the memory from the phones, and it goes back into the apps. And we can see that the Redmi very quickly gets its fits back on the GPS. Now, I actually waited for a good minute or so. This was the second time I did it, and the Poco did the same both times. It was very slow in getting its link back, its GPS position back. We're going to move on to the screen brightness test. So for that, I'll turn off the brightness levels. I've put sunlight mode on, whatever that counts. And I've got a completely white image to test the screen brightness, and we can see the Redmi kind of touch, I think 629 for a split second there. 451, 453. So it does look like not a huge amount between them, but the Redmi is going to take the screen brightness test without too much of a argument. Let's move on to the speaker test. I'm going to shut up for a little while so you can listen to both of these devices.
essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance.
And search engine providers are being overwhelmed, quite frankly, with inquiries. About various.
There's not a huge amount between the two, but I do think the Poco does sound slightly better, so I'm going to award the speaker test to the Poco. And we move on to the Chrome browser test. So I have cleared browsing data, and then I'm just going to randomly pick some sites off the front here in Chrome. And the Redmi, I mean, again, it's very close as you would expect, but the Redmi sneaks in. Oh, just the Redmi. I mean, I won't be upset with you if you're arguing with me that it's a tie, but I am going to give it to the Redmi because it does just get in split seconds before the Poco on each time. So the browser test is going to go to the Redmi Note 10 Pro. So there we go. Not a great deal between them, and I guess it perhaps depends on what your needs are. But actually, I think for me, I'm definitely leaning towards the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max on this head-to-head as the winner. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, though. I do read them all. For now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon.